Nigeria is our most important relationship in Africa. And I think that, we put our money where our mouth is. It's our biggest mission in Africa. We have over 500 people here in Nigeria, about 300 in Abuja, 200 in Lagos, and then another 30 or so in offices like this in Kano. I am the most senior ambassador in the African network. I'm the only one at this level, Director General level. So I also play a role across the network in terms of our overall Africa strategy. Our now Prime Minister visited a few years ago. Our previous Prime Minister visited, and I've been given very clear instructions to deepen and to strengthen the partnership. And we had a really good example of that in January at the UK Africa Investment Summit, when Nigeria was out in force. And one of my jobs now is to really follow up on that on the commercial and economic side. So that's just a little bit of background. On Kano, just briefly, we have a fantastic team here under Nafisa. Kano is one of our partner states. We have 3 broad areas. We work in governance, we work in human development, and we work on economic growth. I have no doubt that will continue. The only thing I would say is that we are going to slightly shift the way we work in Nigeria, I hope in a good way. We're going to develop a concept we call mutual accountability, which the Governor, His Excellency, is familiar with. It basically means that we'll be much clearer on what offer we're making to support you. We'll also be very open and transparent about the asks we have, what we need from the state governors to enable the offer to bear fruit. So it'll be a much clearer, maybe more transactional framework, but one I hope that will be mutually beneficial to both partners. And we're going to kick this off with a strategic dialogue with the Governor towards the end of March. So we'll be exploring the future, the next 4 years. The Governor thinks about his legacy. I asked him today what does he want his legacy to be, and he had some very good suggestions around essentially human development. That's what really matters, health and education. But recognising to make those investments, the economy has to be flourishing. So I hope we'll be working with you, particularly on agriculture, the mainstay of your economy, to support you there. So I've probably spoken too long, but as you can see, I'm excited to be here, and I'll be looking forward to coming back to the Durbar if you invite me.
Whatever we receive from you as an assistance, we have to own it, we have to internalize it, we have to have our own capacity, so that whatever assistance we get from you, the degree of sustainability will be assured. So many areas that you come in, but most important areas are those of education and health. Education, as a result of our new policy of compulsory, free and compulsory education from primary to secondary school level, is a heavily loaded statement that requires a lot of planning, a lot of coordination, a lot of funding, and we believe we'll succeed because if we get the education right, then other problems can even solve themselves. The problem of population explosion, or which cannot be in the most populous state in the Federation, by implication that problem can be solved. The problem of unemployment, especially among the youth, with the right type of education, that will be resolved. The problem of security, with education, insecurity will be reduced. Even though I'm happy to tell you that Kano is the most peaceful state in the Federation. So what we really mean by free and compulsory education is that we make sure that those who cannot afford to send their children to school are not marginalized. That is why we remove the issue of school fees in primary and secondary school, and instead we pay the schools the management expenses directly with the government. What we mean by compulsory is that there are some people, even if the education is free, they will not like to send their children to school.